Salam, salam. So I'm trying to usher in this information of, this different breed of human beings, and where does all this caste system come from? What does this racism come from? These ideas, nothing's new under the sun. So we're going deeper, a deeper dive into this Neanderthal situation, um, the common ancestor of all Eurasian peoples in the world outside of Africa. Starting with the Canaanite area before you get to Black Africa. Also, Sahara Desert used to be green, but that's another story. How do Neanderthals fit within the story of Adam and Eve? Let's check this out.
Well, scientists are saying one thing here, and the Bible seems to be saying another thing. Adam and Eve, real historical persons, but basically, science would say no, the biblical account can't be true. So, what has your research been telling you over the last 2 years?
What my research is telling me is
Hold up. Let's back up a little bit. Look like a wild Britannian of the Emerald Isles of Britannica. Look like you boil chicken in a pot of salt. Call that, you know what? Let me.
that we should not write Neanderthals out of the human race.
I agree. I think there were a type of people. I think there were other peoples. I think that's where Cain thought people were going to kill him because there were all already people outside. I do believe that there are different tribes of Adams, different types of Adams. Um, it's already been proven that everyone that's not of pure African descent has Neanderthal DNA. I've showed that here on my page that I do have the Neanderthal DNA because I am a Black American. We are an admixture of people, which I received that side from the European side. I have a Scandinavian, Germanic, and Irish, Scottish DNA, with you know, the Neanderthal side, and from the Mesoamerican native side, I have some Denisovan DNA. And I do believe that these people are close. They said that these genetic peoples were closer to each other than Homo sapiens, the Denisovan and Neanderthal. The more brutish looking, but I do believe there were peoples, you know, but it's just different types of people. You feel me? This is where racism comes from. It's a certain hate that people know within themselves and even in their secret societies. There's a lot of bones under Europe. People talk about Africa. There's a lot of bones under Europe, catacombs. You feel me? Just having carnal things as displays of art. It's weird. Body parts.
There has been a major shift in scientific opinion among paleoanthropologists about the cognitive capacities and humanity of Neanderthal man. He is not some sort of brutish, primitive ape man.
He's talking about himself now because they're starting to see, who Neanderthals are. They've already tracked the human genome. They've been doing this campaign for the past couple of decades to humanize Neanderthal because it is the ancestors of all Eurasian people. That's the Caucasian to the Oriental man.
Rather, he had a brain capacity comparable to Homo sapiens, even larger than Homo sapiens, and he exhibited modern behaviors comparable to those exhibited by Homo sapiens. Just a couple of weeks ago, they found a piece of string in France in a cave that is associated with Neanderthal.
He's getting happy that Neanderthals actually had string now. It's just to show you how science has put out how they felt about these creatures, but now they've done the human genome and find out that they are the ancestors of white people and these Asian people, some of the most racist people in the world. This is where racism comes from, ladies and gentlemen. Putting it out there.
all remains, which is made out of the fibers of the inner lining of bark from a gymnosperm tree. The fibers were twisted in a clockwise direction. Then 3 of the strands were twisted in a counterclockwise direction to make this piece of string. The excavators of this dig said that this exhibits the kind of complexity that is required for mathematical thinking and language ability. So I think it is utterly prejudicial to say that Neanderthals were not human beings. Now, if that's right, that means that
this idea that they weren't human beings come from the racist ideas that came from Europe in the first place. Now them finding out that these are their actual ancestors that changed in their minds. This is why science is also a religion and also a part of the white power structure system. You never know the truth till 50 years from now.
Adam and Eve need to be the ancestors.
Next thing you know, they'll say, okay, the actual descendants are Chinese people, people of Asian descent, and Europeans of the Neanderthals. They used to be one hybrid race of these beings, and they were different from human beings. They're going to find that out later on in the future. You know what I mean?
Ancestors, not only of Homo sapiens, but also of Neanderthals. And that's going to put them back somewhere around 750,000 to 500,000 years ago. And so I think putting Adam and Eve that far back is perfectly consonant with scientific evidence, in particular with the much ballyhooed evidence of population genetics. Population genetics is entirely consistent with the origin of the entire human race who has ever lived on the face of this planet from a founding pair who lived sometime prior to 500,000 years ago.
Okay, we did have all those years ago.
Genesis.
These
Popcorners.
I got these-
Heard that the cat's meow.
Of
course. It's because they're popped, not fried. Knock yourself out.
be found somewhere
One truth, 1,000 lies. Let's check out what this weirdo has to say.
in the pages of the Bible. Again, specifically, human races that did not descend from Adam and Eve. Now, there were 2 views of other humans in the Bible that sort of emerged from this matrix. One is known today and was known then as pre-Adamism. And what that means is that there were human beings on the earth before Adam and Eve. And the other view was co-Adamism, that there were human beings, again, in the pages of the Bible that were living alongside or in addition to Adam and Eve and their own descendants. Later on, in the wake of Darwin's theory of evolution, which had obviously a tremendous impact, pre-Adamic and co-Adamic theory became a means, for at least some people, to explain fossil hominids, such as those of Neanderthal man. So like I said before, every sort of theological idea
It's interesting right there.
drawn from the Bible has a context. And in this case, the context is centuries old and arose from circumstance.
A lot of people try to use the ideas of Neanderthals to disprove the Bible. I never heard of so many people that's actually thinking that Neanderthals could coincide within the creationalism in the Bible.
That prompted certain very specific questions. Now, it's one thing to say scholars and theologians believed they could find humans in the Bible outside the line of Adam and Eve, but quite another to demonstrate the idea from the Bible. So we would naturally ask, well, what's the biblical basis for saying that there were other humans in the Bible besides those who descended from Adam and Eve? The idea is basically articulated in light of textual oddities in Genesis, specifically Genesis 4. Now, this chapter introduces Adam and Eve's first 2 children, the brothers Cain and Abel. And as the story proceeds,
Cain and Abel, and he murks Abel, and he gets cursed, and yeah, we know that.
Cain murders Abel, meaning Adam, Eve, and Cain. But then in the same chapter, as Cain kills Abel, we read the following when God judges Cain for his crime. Genesis 4:10 through 17 reads as follows. And the Lord said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is
crying to me from the ground, and now you are cursed from the ground, which has
crying to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it shall no longer yield to you its strength. You shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth." Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is greater than I can bear."
Cain is going to some lands where he can't really produce things from the ground. Okay?
"Behold, you have driven me today away from the ground, and from your face I shall be hidden. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth.
Sounds like some coldness to me.
And whoever finds me will kill me." Then the Lord said to him, "Not so. If anyone kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold." And the Lord put a mark on Cain, lest any who found him should attack him.
I wonder what that mark on Cain was. Okay. But yeah, man, tell me what y'all think about that. You know, is more than one creational story? Is there more than one Adam? Is there more than one Eve? What do you guys think about everyone being descendants of Neanderthals that are white or Asian? It's just a fact. I know people be upset, but it's just a fact. I'm really not being facetious or nothing, because I am also part of that bloodline of Neanderthals from my European
That
side.
shit feels so good when you drink it. Yeah, you can drink and eat organisms. It kills all the shit in your body, all the dirt and the mold that you got in your shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? We all got bacteria. You know what I'm saying? But I don't even know the name. Bunchy. That's the name of it. What? Kombucha. Organism. Enzymes. Prohibitats and whatever the detox. You need it, dog. So, plug on yourself with this shit.